How to fill in a ballot. Let's have a look at the proper way and the way you're not supposed to. And I do not work at Elections Canada, but this is right off of the government website on how to do it. And I'm not a fan of this process, and I think it could be improved. And I'll give an examples of how the system should be improved in the whole world, really. But let's look at the proper way to do it. So the first one is the typical X in the person that you want to win. That seems logical. The next one, now it's a color green, you see, and you can't actually bring a pen with you or a marker or whatever. And it looks like, you see, it's going outside of the box, the green, so that's okay according to the website. Now, the next one is coloring the entire circle black. And we're going to go through what's not the way to do it too, but you can color the whole circle black. The next one, a straight line in the circle. And the next one now is just a straight line and just goes anywhere around as long as you cross that circle portion or color it in. And the last one there on the proper way to do it is put a circle. And I find that one very difficult to do anyways, to color it in, but I guess there could be lots of different kinds of circles. Now let's look at the example on how not to do it. And this is a bit interesting because you're going to spoil your vote anyways. And I think some people come in and say that they want to, what's it called, not vote and make a statement. Like I don't understand. You sort of wasted your time, and everyone's to do that, but I don't even think they look at it. But let's look at the way of not to do it. First example, you type in one and a two. This is where you're doing like the first past the post, where you're giving a rank. It's don't do it. But this is the way that we would like it done, but it's not the way that it is in Canada. You do not put a one and a two, and I think filling the second box is actually the one that makes it totally bad that you do it. The next one, X and an O. This one, once again, you're using two boxes. It's ridiculous why you would put an X and an O in anyways, but you're putting information in the circle, both the circles, so that is going to be a void one anyways. Now, the third one on the list is you put an X over the person's name. So you're supposed to put it in the circle, the X, not over the person's name, because to me that almost looks like you don't want them, like an X, cross them out, but that's not the case. You are going to void your ballot if you do that. The next one in this example is type in 12. I don't know why anyone would do that, but maybe this is an example where you just sort of, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would type in any number in there too. And the thing is, it's a number. You see, it almost looks like is valid because you're coloring it in. But since you're putting a number in, I would think that one's okay in my book because only one circle is colored, and you just happen to make a pattern that looks like a number, right? The next one here is you cross out a person that you don't want to win or you want to win. But once again, you did not color the two circles. That's why that one's null. And the next one is you put an X and put a word over it. To me, in my eyes, that one's okay because you actually filled in the circle. I don't know why you would type in Ben because the person's name's Richard. If it is, you type Bob, but why would you even waste your time doing that? So these are the ones you should not do, and you will spoil the ballot according to Elections Canada. Now, this whole system, humans have to add these up and verify it with another person, and that's very time consuming. And we live in the 21st century, and we've actually had punch cards for a long time. I propose that on a ballot that people should have a punch card, punch a hole in the person that they want to pick. This way, they don't need to have a visual check of someone looking at it because as long as one hole is punched in the proper area, it would eliminate that. And you can do that in multiple different ways. And a machine to do it, you could do it by hand or something like that. But I think it should be done with a hole. And then you can hold the cards up into the light and you can see the hole going all the way through. And as long as there's one hole on the card, it's done. It'll go a lot quicker. And there's no, I think in America, I've seen somewhere you have to punch a card, punch a hole through. And I don't like that because that means that whole card is perforated and someone wanted to spoil the ballot, they could just poke another hole through. That's why if there's a machine like a punch to punch a hole right through it, it would do it. And then I was thinking too, it is every 4 years. Okay, I get it. But there are elections all over the world. Like in Ontario, we had one in Canada, for example, and probably there's one in Virginia and I don't know, Berlin or whatever, all over the world. The machines should be created and then just rented out all over the world. The machine that takes a ballot and then you punch a hole through it. And then you can work on the process of eliminating another human to look at it. So I think that would help out a lot to do that. And to rent it out and just move the machine around would help out everyone because it is always once every 4 years, anyways. And I think it'd be a big improvement for the election process. Let me know in the comments how you think, if that's a good way to do it, make it easier for everyone too. And I understand too, a digital one, I would be a little worried if it was a computer screen and you had to press a button. I'm not a fan of that either because I think something might happen. But a physical piece of paper like that with the punch through, in my opinion, is a good one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed on how to make a ballot and not make a ballot. And once again, I do not work for Elections Canada, but you can look on the website. I can leave a link of the document in the PDF. Thanks for watching Canada Wide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.